on the chat. So in regards to today's session, today we are going to have an educational session. Okay, we strongly believe in educating people along with them earning. Because I can give a man fish and feed him for a day, but if I can teach a man how to fish, I would be feeding him for the rest of his lifetime. And with that comes a level of honor and respect, and that's what I'm here to do with you guys. I'm here to teach you how to catch some fishes. Does that make sense? Now, what I'm going to do, okay, I'm going to cover a very strong strategy that I have covered with the team before, and they have loved it. I'm going to give you guys the background on the strategy and so far, but before that, I highly suggest you guys take notes. I highly suggest you guys take notes. As if you hear an information once, you relate once, and if you write it down as well, you relate that information twice. And that always helps, right? And feel free to go back to the recording of this call. If you guys miss anything, slow down the process, watch again, and so on. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen with you all. Let me close this page. Lovely. Now, let me know on your chats if you guys can see my screen. Let me know on the chats if you guys can see my screen. Lovely. Now, my personal educational sessions, what I do is, of course, you guys can do some of these analysis on your brokers, just like the one I'm going to show you guys today. You guys can do this analysis on your broker's display. However, because I want to write things down, I want to circle things and so on, I'm going to choose to display from a different analysis website. It's called TradingView. I mean, I don't want you guys to get caught up in a lot of websites and so on, but I want you guys to understand one thing. TradingView, okay, it's like the supplier of the price data. Even your broker, which is Trade Nitro, right? The display on here, you guys can see it says chart by TradingView. It says chart by TradingView. Now, meaning we do a lot of our analysis on TradingView. You guys can create a free account there, play around with stocks, cryptos, currency pairs, just like the ones I'm going to show you guys today, and so on. But you guys don't have to have this yet. What I'm going to show you guys today is completely doable on your own broker, and I'm going to show you guys how to do that as well. But before that, let me make this there. And I ask you guys, as I cover the strategy throughout the session, I want you guys to drop your questions on the chat box below. And I know it might get flooded with a lot of questions, but I'm going to try to answer best as I can, if that makes sense. Now, a couple things. Number one, this strategy I'm about to teach you guys, couple years ago in 2016, 2017, it was sold for retail traders for $50,000 to $80,000, in between $50,000 to $80,000. So the strategy I'm about to show you guys today was used back in 2016 by high-profile individuals, and they were selling this strategy for between $50,000 to $80,000. Okay, of course we bought the right to this strategy, so don't worry. Now it's public. You guys can use it and so on. However, you guys won't see this online anywhere. Like, I don't believe you guys can come across it online on YouTube or so on, as these are custom strategies, if that makes sense. Now, It also includes one of my favorite indicators. But before that, I want to cover a few basics with you guys. Since you guys see my screen, okay, I want to open up the chat box right now and see your answers to my question. Now, do you guys know, how many of you guys know what these candlesticks mean? How many of you guys know what these candlesticks mean? If you guys don't know, these little candles, these little boxes, we call them candlesticks. Yes, a lot of you guys know. That's impressive. All right, lovely. But I have something open for you guys just in case somebody who's watching this recording is not familiar with it. All right. Yes, it's price change. Exactly. Throughout the time interval that you choose. However, you guys will see two types of candles. Okay, two types. There's only two types. One going towards the upside and one going towards the downside. Can you guys see my screen? Yes, awesome. Just want to make sure. Lovely. So there's two types of candlesticks, right? One going towards the upside and the other vice versa going towards the downside. Now, there's a couple points you guys need to understand. If it's a green candlestick, meaning it's going towards the upside, all right? If somebody said they can't see my screen, it might be from your internet, because a lot of individuals see it, so it might be from your internet. Okay, now there are two types of candlesticks, right? One going towards the upside, one going towards the downside. Reading the one going towards the upside, or the green candles, right? You see it says open, right? This is where the candlestick started from. Okay, now, and do you guys see it says close? This is where the candlestick closed. This is where the candle closed, meaning this is where it opened, this is where it closed. The body represents the price strike it traveled. Simply. All right. Now, a lot of individuals say it's dark screen only. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stop and I'm going to share it again. So please let me know if this is visible to you guys. Are we good? Yes, we can see. Okay, I believe we can see now. Now, so open of a candlestick is right at the beginning, close is at the end. Now, you guys see it says highs and lows, and we call them wicks. These are simply the lowest points that this candlestick traveled and the highest point this candlestick traveled. Now, I'm just going to show you guys real quick. If I was to look at this candle, now I understand mine is not green and red, but mine is blue and purple. All right. Now, if I was to look at this purple candlestick, I know this is where it started, and I can see the price as well right next to it, right? I can even put a line right here so it's visible. So this is where it started at 0.7056, and this is where it closed at 0.74009. All right. Now, once you guys have this understood, this is a downward momentum, this is an upward momentum. Now I know where it closed, where it opened, and so on, and what the wick is. What a wick is. A wick is these little spikes on the candlesticks. All right. So we call these this thing right here a wick. We call this whole thing the body. So body, wick, pretty simple. Nobody uses these terms, but I want you guys to understand what it is. I want you guys to understand what you're looking at. If you don't know if something is going up or down, it will be hard to understand. Okay. Now, once you guys have this down, I'm going to go to the strategy. However, the strategy I'm about to teach you guys, and again, make sure you guys have the notes and so on. When it comes down to trading, a lot of people think it's a lot of calculations. You need to do a lot of formulas, come up with different numbers and so on. However, inside the trading world right now, we have algorithms, tools that already do these things. And all you need to do is now to understand what those lines and so on tell you. You might have seen them online on other people's screens. They add lines and so on, right? Now, those are called indicators, okay? So you can access indicators on your trading view chart, right on next to the candles, indicators. Or if you're on your broker, right here, you guys see FX. If you was to click this, this is the indicators part as well. Okay, so on your broker, this is where you access it from, and on trading view also, right on here, you guys see indicators, correct? Now, if I was to click indicators, it's going to ask me what I want to bring on. Now, what I'm going to do is number one, I'm going to bring up the indicators. So I'm going to bring up the indicators. Then I will explain each indicator. And then I'll show you guys the principle. I'll tell you guys the principle behind the strategy and how we use it. Then I'll show you guys examples. Okay. And then I'll answer your questions. Am I allowed to do that with you guys? So let me know if I am allowed to do that with you guys. So I'll open up the indicators. I'll explain every single indicator that we are going to use, which is 2 only. And then I'll tell you guys the principle behind it, on how we use it. And then I'll show you guys an example. Lovely. Now, so the first indicator that I'm going to add on, it's called indicators. Now, it's in the name, right? Indicators. Now, the first indicator I'm going to add on, it's called moving average exponential, or also known inside the trading world, EMA. Okay, so moving average exponential. I'm just going to add this. Now, if you was to click this on here, what it's going to do is it's going to bring up a line on my screen. Do you guys see this? Yes. Now, the same thing you guys can do on your broker. Bring up EMA, moving average exponential. Okay, same thing. A line pops up, just a different color. Now, of course, there is a proper setting to this. All right. There is a setting to this, meaning, do you guys see it showed up EMA, right? And right next to it, there is a setting icon, right? Now, if I was to click this settings icon, I only need to change. Do you guys see it says length? The input, on inputs, my length, I want to change this to 28. So all I did was press my settings, go on length, and change it to 28. Now, On my style, what I like to do personally is just have a bit more color on it. Now, an individual asked, why 28, Armin? Because we are trading, fast-paced trading. We are trading inside the binary markets. You don't want to take in consideration a long period of time. You don't want to take in consideration the 200 length, 200 price data, meaning 200 candlesticks, right? You only want to take in a few candlesticks, meaning just as relative as it gets in regards to binary options. And 28 is the one we have tested and the strategy requires. All right. Now, yes, it is being recorded. All right. On Trade Nitro, it's not. Okay, let's go and look at it. I clicked this right here. Do you guys see this? My mouse. And then I click this. I said EMA, moving average exponential. It added to my screen. Same thing I can do here. Remember, guys, the chart is provided by TradingView. So you guys can do the exact same thing here. Make it yellow on inputs 28. An individual said, I don't have the icon. Okay, so you're on probably the tick chart. You need to come down to the candle chart. Okay. So now once we have the first indicator, right? It's simply a line. Now, Armin, what does this line tell me is the question. EMA or moving average exponential. First, let me drop the settings so everybody is. $28 yellow. So my exponential moving average, 28 yellow. Okay. Now, since I have this line, Armin, what does this line do? The way you guys treat this line is like a trampoline. It's like a trampoline. And the candles are little human beings. Or think of it as an elastic band. What would happen if you was to stretch one side of the elastic band and let it go? It's going to shoot towards the opposite side, right? Now, if you was to stretch from the upside and let it go, it's going to shoot towards the downside. If you stretch from the downside of the elastic band and let it go, it's going to shoot towards the upside. All right. Now, and that's it. If you was to pay attention, it shoots up, it comes back down, and my EMA line acts as the elastic band, acts as a support to these candlesticks, if that makes sense. Okay. Now, and I want to ask you guys one more thing. What do you guys notice when my EMA line, when this EMA line is below my candlesticks? What happens to the market? Is the market moving towards the upside or is it moving towards the downside? When my EMA is below my candlesticks, exactly, towards the upside. An individual said down? No, it's moving towards the upside. You guys can see, right? So this whole momentum is taking it towards the upside. Now, and vice versa. Vice versa. If my EMA line is above my candlestick, market is dropping. It's on a downward momentum, right? Exactly. And that's what people call a downtrend and uptrend. If the market is moving towards the upside, it's called an uptrend. If the momentum is towards the upside, it's called an uptrend. And if the momentum is towards the downside, it's called a downtrend. All right. So are we clear on what candles is? We see the upward momentum, the downward momentum, and are we clear with the EMA and how we treat it? I haven't told you guys the strategy yet. I'm just telling you guys the indicator. I showed you guys one. I'm going to show you guys one more. Yes? Lovely. Now, once I have my EMA ready on 28 yellow, I understand that. Cool. I'm going to add on a second indicator, guys. I'm going to add on a second indicator. Now, the second indicator is called the Parabolic SAR. Parabolic SAR, or also known as the SAR. Now, if I was to add this in, do you guys see these little dots displayed on my screen? Yes? Now, what I'm going to do in regards to the settings of this blue dots, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down to the settings. So what I did was go to indicators, just write down SAR, and the first option is Parabolic SAR, and just add that in. Now, the second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go on the settings. The inputs, guys, don't change it. Keep the inputs same on default. On style, however, what I'm going to do is I just want to make them as thick as possible. You guys see it says thickness level. I just want to make them as thick as possible. Cool. Now, that's the only change I made. I came down to settings, style, and I made them as thick as possible. Now, an individual said, I'm totally new. Don't worry. You can go back to yesterday's call, watch that, and then come back and watch today's recording from the beginning if you guys are confused. Because I understand at the beginning when I heard about these information, I was the same. We were all beginner once. So I understand where you guys are coming from. But I expect you guys to have tunnel vision throughout this. Okay, and that's why I say, please take notes. Yesterday's recording is on the Nitro Banks channel. On the Nitro Banks channel. Now, anyways, what I'm going to do is all I said, thickness level and okay, right? Now, I explained you guys the EMA. Let me hide my EMA for a second and just see these blue diamonds. I know these are crosses or pluses, but I call them diamonds. Okay. Now, by the way, I'll give you guys, since I told you guys the diamonds as well, the name of this strategy is linear diamond strategy. So the strategy's name is linear diamond strategy. All right, I just wrote it down just so you guys know. And also I'm just going to write down my second indicator that I added. On default, as thick as why Zoom keep cutting me off? I have no idea. As possible. Now, my EMA 28 yellow, my SAR default as thick as possible. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys, okay, how the parabolic SAR works. Did I? My bad. Never mind me, guys. Yeah, the Zoom doesn't. Okay. Now, in regards to the parabolic SAR, okay, every time I want you guys to pay attention to this, and I want you guys to let me know on the chats, okay? Every time diamond, oh my God. Guys, I promise you, this is not my first time writing the thing down. It's just the Zoom keeps cutting me off. So if I was to type back to back, it stops at one point, if that makes sense. Don't worry. Now, in regards to cool. Now, in regards to parabolic SAR, yeah, I want you guys to let me know every time these diamonds are below my candles, is the market moving towards the upside or the downside? Every time my diamonds are below my candles, upside, exactly. And vice versa. If my diamonds are above my candles, it's moving towards the downside. Cool. Now, I want you guys to pay attention to one thing, yeah? Let me show you guys a good example. Here, the diamonds are below the candlesticks, right? The closer my candles are, the closer my candlesticks are to my parabolic SAR, so the closer my candles are to my diamonds, the more likely it is we will see the market reverse. So if my parabolic SAR is below my candlestick, here's how you treat parabolic SAR, okay? We treat parabolic SAR like sharp spikes, like these sharp objects. Now, if you was to have anything sharp below your feet, you would move, you would jump up, right? And if you was to have a sharp spike above your head, you would move down. Now, the same thing goes with parabolic SAR. The candles want to be as far away as possible. They don't want the parabolic SAR to intercept. That's why the closer my diamonds are to my candles, the more likely it is that the market will switch trends on me. Okay? Now, what do I mean by that? Let me show you guys a better example, a more clear example. Right here, we have a clear downtrend. Am I right on saying that? A clear downward momentum, right? Now, on this move right here, what about EMA line? I'm going to explain how we use them both together. I'm just explaining parabolic SAR just for you guys to grasp it. Now, my diamonds are moving towards the downside. And what tends to happen is for my candles, if they was to get closer to my diamonds, just exactly the way they are right now on here, on August 22nd, 2022, 9:52 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, my candlestick was really close to my diamonds. Do you guys see that? Yeah. And if the next candlestick passes my diamond, my trend shifts. Now, so the diamonds and candles go along the way. If my candles get closer to my diamonds, it's more likely it is that I will see a switch inside the markets. I'll see a reversal inside the markets. All right. Now, to both of them now. But do you guys understand how parabolic SAR moves? It's possible, right? My candles intercept with my parabolic SAR shifts. All right. Just exactly the same way. It intercepts and it shifts. Now, hold on a second. We don't know the principles of this strategy yet. All right. Let's add them both together now. Let's add them both together. Now, are we clear so far in regards to every single one of them? Now, I'm going to show you guys the principle of this strategy and how you mix it up. Easy. But I wanted you guys to have a foundation of the fundamentals when it comes down to trading and these two indicators. Okay. Now, let's look at an example. Actually, find a more clear example, but I'm gonna come back to that one. We already know if my are above my EMA, it's moving towards the upside. We are on an uptrend momentum. Now, I'm going to ask you guys a question. If the market is moving towards the upside, would you like to buy the market or sell the market? If the momentum is towards the upside, if the momentum is going towards the upside, would you look to buy this market or sell this market? Buy. Exactly. And if the momentum is towards the downside, if you're on a downtrend, you would want to sell this market, right? Exactly. Now, there is a saying inside the trading world that goes by this: the trend is your friend. The trend is your friend. However, there's a different part of it as well, which I'm going to keep it up for now. But the trend is your friend. You want to move with your friend, right? Wherever your friend tells you, you want to go there. That's exactly what we want to do. If our friend tells us, if EMA tells us we are going towards the upside, then we'll look to buy, right? We'll look for buy entries. Exactly. Now, Armin, how do I identify when do I go in? How do I know when am I supposed to get in? Right? Now, in regards to when, one thing to understand, you guys need to keep your time intervals in 1 minute. In 1 minute. Meaning each candlestick represents a movement within 1 minute. And same thing on your trade Nitro. You guys can come down, choose 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, but 1 minute is what we are keeping it at. All right. Now, the principles of this strategy goes by this. When both my EMA and parabolic SAR, when both my EMA this line, and parabolics are my diamonds, intercept while they're below my candlestick, that's a 1 minute buy. I'm going to repeat that for you guys. When both my EMA line, and my diamonds, my parabolic SAR, intercept, this is an interception, right? Intercept while they are below the candlestick, which they're below the candlestick, that's a 1 minute buy. Now, if we look at this simple example, when my candles intercepted, I would take a 1 minute buy, a 1 minute buy, and that would have been a profitable trade in this case. Now, let's look for another example, yeah? The principle stated, if my parabolic SAR and my EMA intercept whilst they're below my candlestick, that's a 1 minute buy, right? So this is, let me just do this. So this is one example, all right? It intercepted. Now you guys might be like, Armin, you talk about this candle, but then you're talking about this candle. The answer is this. When they intercept, we wait for this candle to close, so we know that, okay, it did intercept. Because if we don't, on this movement, this candlestick might just come down and pass the parabolic SAR and the momentum shifts. So you didn't wait for the confirmation. You would wait till my candle close, and you will go in for a 1 minute buy trade. Now, same thing on this example, right? It intercepted. Let me bring it down so you guys can see it. It intercepted. 1 minute buy after this candle, which would have been, how do you know when it closes? Well, the candlestick closes, right? This momentum goes up, down. So let's go back. Let me look. It just closed and a new candlestick opened. Do you guys see that? So when it closes and a new one begins, when this closed, you know that, okay, this parabolic SAR is there now. It cannot move. It's closed. Does that make sense? Now, what was I showing you guys? So I showed you guys this buy example. Let's look for a sell example, yeah? Let's look for a perfect, nice, this one, lovely. Now, the principle stated, if it was below, if my parabolic SAR and my EMA intercepted while they were below the candlestick, it was a buy. It's vice versa. If my candles are below and my parabolic SAR and EMA intercept above the candlesticks, it's a indication, it's a signal for a 1 minute sell. Okay, so if you pay attention to this one, my candlesticks are below my EMA and parabolic SAR, meaning my parabolic SAR and my EMA intercepting would give me a sell example, right? And that's exactly what happened. my parabolic SAR intercepted with my EMA. And then once the candle closed, I would go in for a 1 minute sell trade. And that would have been another profitable trade. Now, I'm keep showing you guys profitable trades. I want you guys to understand. Let me look for an example. Okay. So it intercepted again while they were below the candlestick. And if I was to take a 1 minute buy, that would have been profitable. But the second one again, it's still intercepting, right? If I was to take this trade now, that would have been a losing example. So now, Armin, do these strategies work 100% of the time? Absolutely not. Now, market does whatever it wants. And understand, these are based on mathematical calculations, right? Now, since I told you guys, I'm going to ask you guys a question. In your opinion, do we need to use this for trending markets or for volatile markets when the market is moving fast? Or do we need to use this strategy when the market is moving slow? Which one do you guys would recommend? It's a mix. Wow. Now, because we want to understand one thing, guys, yeah? Let me tell you guys this, and then we'll wrap up the session. I know this was a long one today, and I tried to go as slow as I can. But I'll tell you guys this. We use this inside volatile markets, where there's a lot of momentum, where the momentum is fast, just like this one. You guys know why? The reason being is all these indicators are mathematical algorithms and calculations, right? So if you're taking in consideration 28 candlesticks, for instance, and in that previous 28 candlesticks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them are dead candlesticks, meaning the calculation didn't move. They count as zeros, right? Like these ones. These are dead candles, right? These are no momentum. This basically means in that minute, nothing happened. That's basically what this means. All right. Now, if these come inside the calculation, let's say you were to take an average of 10, 8, 5, right? You would get an average. But what if you get a 0 in between those averages? It's going to mess up the calculation, right? That's why you guys need to understand. You need to use this strategy on trending markets, if that makes sense. I could have just told you guys use this on fast markets and that's it, but I want you guys to understand why we do this, yeah? Perfect. Now, that's that. I showed you guys an example. I believe, okay, time frame wise, this strategy is good in between 8 a.m. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, guys, I give up writing at this point. 8 a.m. Yeah. To 12 p.m. EST, Eastern Standard Time. 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. Now, with that being said, I covered the basics with you guys. I tried to get you guys to understand what it is that you guys are looking at and so far. Now, tomorrow, I'll show you guys. I'll keep it for now. But tomorrow, I'll see you guys at the same time at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. Now, I want you guys to, before you guys go, I want you guys to let me know. For those beginner individuals, all right? For those individuals who this literally is the first week or the first day or the second day of their whole trading journey. I want you guys to let me know if you guys have learned something so far. If you think you're 1% better. I'm not asking if you're a pro trader yet. I'm asking if you guys think you're 1% better today. You understand a new thing. You understand one new thing about the markets. Rather it's the indicators, rather it's that, this. Lovely. And I assume these guys are new individuals, yeah? I see a lot of team members as well. I'm happy to do that. But yeah, lovely. Lovely. Now, tomorrow we'll be back with another call. I'll see you guys at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I believe VMAX, there's a lot of individuals on waiting room that are I just let them in. Yeah, tomorrow we won't max out. Don't worry. I know a lot of individuals left out of the call and so on. But yeah, with that being said, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. And I will see you guys. Where can you find the recording? The recording will be dropped in this link and this channel, in Nitro Bank's channel. Cool. Thank you guys so much. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.